Hi, it's Lori Hawk with Algo Credit Union. We're here to make you financially fit. Today we're going to hit on meal planning. Meal planning is one of those things that sounds easy, but a lot of people just don't do it. Therefore, we see a lot of people spending a lot of money on coffee or out to eat breakfast, lunch out, lunch to be able to be with your friends. And you can do the same thing in the lunchroom at work with a bagged lunch that you brought. So think about how much money you're spending out to eat and how much more you could save toward those big financial goals if you were doing it right. Today I want to talk about 3 simple steps. Step 1, know what your individual meals cost you. Number 2, create a meal calendar. And number 3, bulk shopping for your meals and using a grocery list. The first thing we're going to go through is knowing what your individual meals cost you. So with this, I don't necessarily want you to look at the meals I've got on here. That's just me getting vulnerable and showing you exactly what I mean. But getting into the nitty-gritty of what ingredients you need to make the meals that you're making at home and understanding the cost. The reason you're doing this is twofold. Number 1, you're helping yourself to know exactly what meals are less expensive. Those meals you want to put into your meal calendar a little more often. In addition to that, you're also helping yourself because when you're out and about and you feel like eating out, or someone in your car, maybe a child, is trying to tell you, let's go out for fill in that blank, you can be the one to say, no, I already have something planned for tonight, and that's within our budget. It's a good thing to pass down to your kids to teach them how to stay on a budget and how to financially plan for their future. So as we go through the meals, you'll see this chicken meal example is a total of $11. Taco meal, $14.72. This one happens to be a little more expensive than you would think for tacos, but we make a lot of extras. We want leftovers because I like to take this in with my lunch. So does my family. And it's nice to be able to have something there for the kids if they get home before you do and want to make a snack. They're not grabbing out things that you have planned for another meal in the week, but something that they can go ahead and just have because it's leftover. Steak meal, about $25, a little on the pricier side. A turkey meal, again, a little bit more expensive, but even with this one, I've cut it into about a half of a turkey, $16.50. A ham meal, about the same as the turkey, about $16.50. A nice thing with each of these, though, is you can use the leftover meat from the turkey or the ham in another meal. For example, if I have ham on my meal schedule, you might see me 3 or 4 days later have grilled ham and cheese sandwiches because I'll use that extra ham. Now I've used the $16.50 meal and used some of the leftover in another meal, which made that meal down the week a little bit cheaper. Chicken Alfredo. Look how inexpensive these pasta meals that we're going to go through are. $10 for my homemade sauce with the noodles and chicken and everything. Lasagna. Another trick that I do with my lasagnas is I'll make 2 pans of it at the same exact time for about the cost of $20, but I'm getting 2 meals out of it because I will put one into the refrigerator for the very next day, and then I will put one in the freezer for about 4 to 5 weeks out, and then I don't have to prepare all those ingredients again. I've saved a lot of time in my meal prep. And another nice thing with the lasagna is probably with my family of 4, we eat just about half of that lasagna. So we really do have a full leftover half of a pan for another day throughout the week if we wanted to do that, or we've got lunches taken care of. A spaghetti meal, about the same, only $11. And BLTs, $9.50. This is another quick one. Hamburgers, $11.20. Fish, $13. And the cheapest meal, putting breakfast in there for dinner. Many of us don't have time in the morning to make a full-on breakfast for our family, and we're just grabbing a bagel or a granola bar, something small with some fruit in the morning. Well, having breakfast for dinner can be rather nice and fun. A lot of people like to eat it, just don't have time for it, and it's very inexpensive. If you don't have a plan for your food budget and it's exceeding your household expenses, this could be a sign that you're spending too much on your food. So Step number 2 is taking all of the information that you've just gathered in step 1, which could take you anywhere from 15 to 30 days to really understand what all meals your family likes and how much it costs you. Then you're going to create your meal calendar. This isn't something you're just going to take a couple days and get good at. This is something that will improve over time, and the more you do it, the better you get. So with a meal calendar, you can take the PDF downloadable file that I've attached to this, or you can grab your own calendar or make your own. But basically, you'll notice on my calendar, I don't have any dates. This is purposefully done because I just want to plan 6 weeks out. And when I finish with my 6-week period, I'm going to start back at the top again. And that's how I do it. I have 3 meal calendars, and it's nice to have them laminated, because when you have a laminated meal calendar, what you can do is if you get to a week where some things pop into your schedule and you don't have time for one meal, but a quicker meal would be better in its place, you can use an expo marker, make an arrow, and get those taken care of so that you can make them the day you want in the week. But you start with that blank meal calendar. Then what you're going to do is take the first week, and you're going to find which day do you want to have that cheap pasta meal. So let's say we put that in for Sunday, and we decide that we're going to make spaghetti. All right. Then you're going to go on to week 2, and because last week we had a red sauce, this week on week 2, we're going to put in maybe chicken Alfredo. Then you'll go down to week 3 and see if you feel like having lasagna. You actually might even want to skip a week. We'll go down to week 4 and throw in a lasagna. Now we have 3 pasta meals within a 4-week period of time. After that, we can go ahead and maybe skip week 5 and throw in another maybe chicken Alfredo on week 5. So between the 6-week period of time, you have 4 or 5 pasta meals on your calendar already taken care of. Now that you've filled in all your pasta meals, let's go on with, let's say, some Mexican meals. What is it that your family likes? My family loves to eat tacos. They're inexpensive, and we have a lot of leftovers with this. So on week 1, you'll see on my meal calendar that's filled out, we have steak fajitas. Then on week 2, we have tacos. On week 3, I have chicken fajitas down. Week 4, back to my tacos. On week 5, I think I have some chicken quesadillas in there. And week 6, I believe I have some enchiladas with some Spanish rice. So I went ahead and put a Spanish or Mexican type meal throughout the calendar. Next step is chicken. Chicken is inexpensive, especially if you're buying the boneless, skinless chicken breast. It's both cheap and it's also easy because you don't have to cook a full-on chicken and worry about deboning it and getting all of that done. It's just easy if you go with the boneless, skinless. Now, with that, I try to do a chicken meal every single week. So you'll see on the meal calendar, on the very first week, we have a poppy seed chicken. Week 2, we have our sweet and sour chicken over white rice. On week 3, we have Italian chicken, which is easy to prepare. I just pour Italian dressing over my chicken probably about 2 to 3 days before I'm going to have it. It marinates in there nice. It's a wonderful meal. One of my family's favorite, and I'll tell you, it's so easy. On week 4, I've changed it up and put on there some cilantro lime chicken and rice. On week 5, I'm going to make chicken and noodles over mashed potatoes. And on week 6, I went to a chicken and gravy with mashed potato meal and rolls. So I have a chicken meal every single day of the week because chicken is inexpensive. Then I'm going to go through next and put something nice throughout the meal. On my calendar, the 3 meals that I picked that are a little bit more pricey was our roast meal, our turkey meal, and our ham. So I'm going to pick week 1, week 3, and maybe week 5 or 6 and go ahead and put each of those meals on there. Then I'm going to throw in some of our quick meals, or I might even want to put a couple out to eat meals on there. We like Friday night pizza and breadsticks sometimes, so I'm going to put a couple of those on the meal calendar. Then I'm going to go ahead and fill in a lot of the easy stuff. Where can I put in a BLT sandwich meal? Where can I put in the hamburgers and french fries, the sloppy joes and chips? Where can I put in the grilled ham and cheese? How about a few leftover nights after the nights that I know I'm gonna have leftovers because we make a lot of it? Then I'm gonna go through and get a few pork meals on there. Maybe some apple juice marinated pork chops one night, and a couple weeks later, some pulled pork barbecued sandwiches. You can see where I'm going with this. So you're gonna take that large list that you made of all of the meals you like to eat, and the more you can think of, the better your meal calendar is gonna look because it will be done for you. I love that it makes grocery shopping easy for me as well because I'm not walking aimlessly through the aisles, just putting anything into my cart. I'm thinking about what I need before I ever go to the grocery store, and I know exactly how much I need of everything. So on, let's say, Saturday afternoon, as I'm thinking about going to the grocery store, I am gonna go through that week's meal calendar and I'm gonna see what is on my meal calendar. So if I see barbecued chicken and potatoes, corn on the cob, I immediately put corn on the cob on my list. I know I need it. Potatoes, I'm gonna look into my vegetable drawer in my refrigerator and see how many potatoes do I have left and how many times throughout the week did I put it down. So on my second week of the meal calendar that I happen to be looking at right now, I know I need potatoes, some cubed grilled potatoes with my barbecued chicken, and I also have some fried potatoes with my Polish sausage the same week. I know that one bag of potatoes is gonna be plenty for the 2 items. But if I only have half a bag left, I'm gonna go ahead and throw a bag of potatoes on my grocery list. These are the things I'm talking about, only putting on there exactly what you need. If I would have went to the grocery store aimlessly, I might have grabbed more than one bag thinking I needed it several nights. Barbecued chicken. When I look in my freezer, I see that I actually have quite a bit of chicken. I don't need to add it to my list. I look in my pantry. Am I good on barbecue sauce? I look in my refrigerator. How much do I have left over? If I'm short, I'm going to put my Baby Ray's on there, get my barbecue sauce going on my grocery list, and move on to the next day. How am I doing with all of the items I need for tacos? I obviously need fresh lettuce and vegetables. I might want to grab my tomatoes and things like that. I know I'm good on my cheese. I've been to the bulk store already, and I'm continuing to go throughout the list. Once I have my full list in order, I know exactly what I need. The next step is really understanding where to shop and when. So when you make a grocery list, for me, I like to go to the bulk store about once every other month, and then I go to my local grocery store for the other days of the week. By making my list and keeping things stacked on my bulk, I'm finding that when I make a trip to the grocery store, I am staying well under budget and my meals are nowhere near what they used to be when I didn't do a meal plan. So I want to talk you through a little bit of really thinking about the bulk stores and what that looks like. So the first thing I want to show you on this example is mozzarella cheese. When I go into a regular grocery store, when it's not on sale, a 2-cup of mozzarella cheese bag is going to cost me $3.39. If I'm lucky and it happened to be on sale when I got there, yes, I might have paid $2.50 to $2.75. But if I bought the big 5-pound bag at the grocery store, well, at the bulk store, that 5-pound bag would have cost me $13.78. What we don't realize is how many cups I could have gotten out of this. Well, I've done it enough to know there's about 20 cups in the big 5-pound bag. That means I can get 2 cups into one freezer bag. I will reiterate, freezer bag. You want to make sure that you're not putting this in a sandwich bag when you put it into the freezer. And I will put 2 cups of mozzarella cheese in all 10 bags. Then 1 bag will go into my refrigerator. The other 9 bags will go into the freezer. I'll pull those out as I go to cook. So if I'm going to make a homemade pizza or if I'm going to make some lasagna, I'll just grab that bag out while I'm prepping some of the other things. It can be thawing. So that $13.78 that I spent on that 5-pound bag of shredded mozzarella cheese was actually only $1.38 per bag. So the $3.39 for 2 cups is so much more expensive because by the time I would have bought 10 bags, it would have been $33.90 minus the $13.78 I could have spent at the bulk store. I've wasted $20.12 just on mozzarella cheese. Now, if you think about every single ingredient for everything you make and getting it in bulk, imagine the amount of money you could save. The trick is only buying what you need and not finding all that other fun, creative stuff at the bulk store. Stick to your list. I'm going to go through the rest of them rather quickly so you kind of see the concept of what I've done here. I'll take that Mexican blend or taco cheese blend, and the same example. It would have been $3.39 at the grocery store for one bag. I can buy the 5-pound bag at the bulk store for $11.98. Over the course of 10 bags of cheese, or maybe about 20 helpings of tacos, which we can do probably easily in 2 full meal calendars, so about 12 weeks, I would have spent about $33.90 if I had bought everything at the grocery store in that 12-week period. But because I bought it at the bulk store, it was only $11.98, saving me $21.92. So just in simple meals, look what happens just with cheese. You want to do this with everything that you can, anything that would be good longer term. So you can look at your chips. For example, I imagine that most of you have someone in the family who likes to snack not too long after dinner gets done, and they grab that bag of Doritos, let's say, out of the pantry. Do they put a little bit of those Doritos onto a plate or in a bowl and take those into the living room while they watch TV? No, they grab that whole bag of Doritos, and guess what? They're putting their hand in there and eating that whole bag of chips in one setting. So for you, the grocery shopper, you've just spent $4.29 on a snack and it's gone after one day. If you would have went to the bulk store and bought the big 50 chip pouch box for $12.98 and had 50 pouches, you would have seen something a little bit different happen. The reason I know this is because I've experimented with my own family. When I put maybe 10 or 12 of those options in the pantry and I don't put the rest of the chips in, guess what happens? Somebody walks to the pantry and instead of grabbing that big bag of chips, because it's not there, it's not even available as a choice, and they're not doing the grocery shopping, so they are going to maybe grab 2 small bags of Doritos or a bag of Doritos and another kind of a chip, right? They go back in and maybe just eat 2 little pouches. Guess what that's done for my meal money? That's taking a $4.29 snack and X that out, and now we've only spent 52 cents on 2 small chip pouches. I've helped them stay healthier by having a smaller amount of chips, and in addition, I've only spent 52 cents instead of $4.29. See what I've done there? Fruit snacks, same kind of a thing. And instead of spending $2.19 for a box of 10 fruit snacks, you can buy the bulk fruit snacks. 90 comes in a box, which is $9.98. That equals out to 11 cents per pouch, saving you half of the cost that you would have at the grocery store. Here is another big savings. When I buy my bulk toilet paper, I can get 45 rolls of the mega rolls in one package for $19.98. When I have to buy toilet paper from the grocery store, the mega rolls are actually costing me about $1.04 per roll. So more than half the cost than what I would have spent at the bulk store. Over the course of time, after I've used 45, well, not just me, while my family's used 45 rolls of toilet paper, it would have cost us $46.80 at the grocery store. But because we buy our toilet paper at the bulk store, it was only $19.98, saving $26.82 just through the course of 45 rolls. Then we can do the same exact thing with all of those other items in our household, but I'll just move quickly through the rest. What you're doing is you're taking the dollar amount per bag size divided by however many pounds, ounces, or the quantity, and getting your amount for how much it costs per pound, per ounce, per quantity, or whatever you're looking at. So in this case, I figured out the difference between buying a smaller bag versus the larger bag of dog food. And even though I'm not comparing exact amount with exact amount, I can figure it out by the pound. And I would have saved $10.57 after I had bought a 55-pound bag of dog food. I can do the same exact thing with the men's deodorant as well as the women's deodorant at the grocery store. In this case, it was a ladies deodorant, saving me $1.47 every single stick. Now, I'm going to show you my last slide, which is a 13-gallon trash bag, which saves me $12.02 on 200 bags. 200 bags will last me quite some time, but it just shows you the difference of, instead of paying 13 cents for a bag that I can put my finger through, I can buy the nicer, tough flex bags at the bulk store, and it only costs me 6 cents per bag. You can do this example that I just went through with every single item. I didn't just show you the few items there. I mean, you can go through every single item in your house. You want to think about all the things that I didn't show you. You'll want to think about some of your frozen quick items. You want to think about your floor cleaner. You want to think about all of those extra things, even your laundry detergent. And know what you spend at the grocery store and know if it makes sense to buy it at the bulk store. Let's go back through those 3 tips just to be sure we remember. Your first step in taking control of your meal budget and your household grocery items is to know what your individual meals are costing you. Second, you want to create that meal calendar. And finally, you want to make sure to make the grocery list and bulk shop for the meals as much as you can. That's going to put a big savings into your household budget. With that extra money, you can watch my other seminars and find out how to become even more financially fit. Thanks for joining us today.